Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Teasing the NFL, your destination for NFL teaser bets. I'm Daniel Saludo along with Andrew Chang here. We're taking you through the last and second conference championship game for the playoffs. Here it is the AFC side. We have a battle. It's a rematch from week 9? Yeah, week 9. Don't worry about the counts, Tom Brady. We know what down it is. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was a week 9 battle. This is the AFC battle between the Buffalo Bills going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Yep.
Oh, circle the wagons, bad boy.
It's
a nice little shootout at the OK Corral. Some arrows around the Bills. So I'm pretty excited for this game.
We both are. I think a lot of the NFL is really looking forward to this. So Buffalo going to Kansas City. Kansas City is the favorite here at -3.5, and your total is 53.5.
Oh.
So Buffalo gets teased up to +9.5. Kansas City gets teased across the 0 to +2.5. Your over gets teased down to 47.5, and your under gets teased up to 59.5. So, all right. As the news came out on Thursday, Patrick Mahomes has been cleared to play, even though probably they possibly paid off the doctor to clear him. Just gonna throw that one out there.
I'm just saying, like,
there's no way somebody should be 100% after getting any kind of concussion of any sort.
Yeah, that, and I found it funny that there hasn't really been a lot of fuss around it, but I thought the league protocol was, 2 weeks? Or
I don't know what the league protocol is now, because as long as it seems like you're okay, especially if it's after a game, you just have to be able to pass whatever the protocol is, and it seems like he passed it. So,
okay, so be it. So he's clear.
All right, so we have Mahomes playing in this game. Now, he's not 100%. Not only did he have the concussion, he also had a turf toe injury as well, so that's going to limit his mobility as well. So, bearing in mind the news of all that, what are you thinking about in this game?
Well, America, I think it's a no-brainer. I kind of stuck with the Bills on the AFC side, and here they are. First of all, I'd like to say they almost got beat by the Colts, and
they had a very good chance to lose that game. Absolutely,
that's right. And I kind of feel bad for Phillip Rivers.
Retired now.
Have a good retirement, yes. I mean, but I'm looking at this, and I like Buffalo anyway, and I want to say that they could beat KC.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that, absolutely.
So when you're going to give me +9.5 points against this, the only thing is it's Andy Reid, it's a reigning Super Bowl champions, and you're just like, oh, man, but Patrick Mahomes, honestly, it's going to, I feel like it's going to be a shootout. Some of these defenses are kind of overlooked in some ways, but at the same time, you're giving Patrick Mahomes multiple chances to crack this Bills defense. And Josh Allen, he has been coming up and up. Him and Stephon Diggs have just been clicking. So I would take the over.
Of course you would. Of course you would with these two defenses.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the last stand bet for me, just to take the over.
There's only 2 games. You are making a last stand, regardless.
Anyways, Danny. So that's why I don't even know if I had any reasons to pick the Bills, only because I just like the Bills. Circle the wagon. Give me +9.5 for the Bills against KC at home. But
it is at home. They're gonna have fans.
Yeah, they'll have fans for sure.
2,600 fans.
Fans are fans. I mean, it's great.
Helps.
Yeah, it helps. But gosh, I'm thinking Tre'Davious White. That is right.
A cornerback? Yes.
Yes. I don't think that he can really shut down Tyreek Hill, but I don't think Tyreek Hill will have a productive day, even though he will, put a body on him. Kelsey is still going to be a pretty big target for Mahomes. I expect him to be, kind of very involved in the offense. Also, I think I might go on a limb out here and say that KC will kind of switch up their game plan and run a lot of screen passes this time against Buffalo. I think that defense actually struggles against the screen pass. So
They struggle against running backs in general. If you go back to when they played each other in the regular season, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a total of like 160 yards on the ground. So he tore up this Buffalo Bills defense. Now, they had a couple injuries on their linebacking core, so that was part of the reason why KC knew they could run the ball very heavily and very effectively against this lack of a better term, kind of non-existent Buffalo defense.
And if you kind of look back at the Ravens, the Bills and the Ravens, I mean, Lamar took off, and he was going at it. So they kind of need to bottle up Mahomes because Mahomes could do the exact same thing.
That's not necessarily true because he's got the turf toe injury now. So
trust me, like the kid can take off. I mean,
he can, but that doesn't mean he should.
I remember the last Super Bowl bet that we had for the props, and it's like, will Mahomes have however many more rushing yards? And we're just like, yes,
for
sure.
But then he took a knee late in the game and he lost it. But yes, he would have hit it otherwise. Yes, he would. But yeah, and normally that would be fine. But the problem is having turf toe. That makes it really hard and really dangerous for you to run. Under most circumstances, if he didn't have any foot issue, he'd be fine. But he's going to end up in the pocket a little bit more. He'll still scramble around a little bit, but I think it's really dangerous for him to run out there. Turf toe, coming off a concussion, one bad hit, and he's done. Well, and remember, they got to protect him. Remember, they got to protect him. It's a 10-year contract they have on him. They got to protect him. Just remember that.
Okay, all right, bet. So, I mean, that's what I'll stick with. Why don't you go ahead and tell me why you're going to take Buffalo too, Danny?
Well, it's not as simple as that per se, but yes, I am on Buffalo on this. I think if Mahomes was 100%, I would probably lean more to Kansas City in this. But then again, the spread would be a little bit different. You would have a higher spread to the point where you might get a 4 to 4.5, and I don't know if I could get away still from teasing Buffalo up, but situationally it's a little bit different. But there's a number of reasons why I want Buffalo in this. It's not unlike the NFC game. This isn't a game I necessarily deem close. I think just Buffalo has a chance to outright win it. The extra points just mean I get more cover on it. That's all I'm looking for in this. So that's why I like that, number one. Number two, Kansas City won't be able to run as well as they did during the regular season because Buffalo's going to have a full, healthy defense now. That defense is still terrible, but they will still be able to stop them a little bit better than they did in the regular season. 3, shootout potential always means I want more of the points, in my opinion. That a lot of sharps don't believe that. In a shootout, don't try not to take high amount of spreads, but that's just how they deem it.
I mean, I do have a concern for Buffalo as well, since their last showing against the Ravens.
Very unimpressive. Very unimpressive.
They kind of started off slow, and I think they're kind of realizing what's at stake here. You know, it's the drive for 5, going against, I mean, these stories this year are so good. And, you know, stories like don't really mean anything, but you're talking about the king of the hill right now, and that's KC. So when you're going up against them, the pressure's on them. I really don't think the pressure's on the Bills because they've already accomplished so much in this season just by adding a couple key players to the roster.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I think they know that too. So they were literally on the doorstep, minus the Texans last year. I mean, you know, granted, we were still kind of good last year, but then KC did us dirty. But I think the Bills have a legit shot of winning. And like Danny said, if it's going to be a close game, if you think it's going to be a close game, give me the points. And I think the points are really good, plus 9.5 for Buffalo. I wouldn't mind taking the over in this either because
that's a little dicey to me.
Well, that's
right now. The reason why is because KC last week when they played Cleveland, even when Mahomes was still in the game, they weren't like lights out, like going like balls to the wall, kind of like firing on all cylinders. I mean, they only put up 19 points against Cleveland. Now, they missed an extra point, so that's a difference there. And Buffalo showed that they struggled against a good defense last week, barely not putting up enough points either, in my opinion.
But I think, you know, minus the touchdown situation, that would be another 7 points. There was, I think someone threw, Chad Henne. If it was Mahomes, I don't think that would have been an interception. It would have been a touchdown.
Well, yeah, he just lofted it up there, yeah.
So, I mean, it's all kind of situational, and I think that for the over, seeing that they're going to not really rely on the run game, or they're going to try to. They
should. If KC is really going to game plan this properly, they should try and run the ball a little bit more, but they may run and it may not be as easy as last time.
Right. And I honestly think that they're going to try to run the ball early rather than...
Yeah, because, you want to try and protect Mahomes early if you can.
Right. So, we're just kind of have to see. I guess my major lean on this is the plus 9.5 on Buffalo, but don't be surprised if I sneak in a nice little
that's
over
all
to
you.
Too.
That's all you. I'm only making one bet this weekend.
No,
just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I said I would only make it last weekend, and I did. I've kept to my word. You're the one who is like, I don't know, man. That's you. That's always you.
Hey, my insurance has insurance. That's how good these bets are right here.
I need your insurance.
Oh, God.
I will say there is one concern I do have with Buffalo, and that is if Mahomes really is, close to 100%, he's firing all cylinders with Andy Reid, and they've game planned it perfectly. You have to worry about if Kansas City gets into a very early lead, that Buffalo's has in catch-up mode. And that's something very worrying if Buffalo can't make it click. Because one of the underrated things about this KC defense is their cornerbacks and their secondary is very underrated in my opinion. I think they do much better against the pass than they do against the run. And as we know, Buffalo does not run the ball as well. When Buffalo tried to run the ball against the Ravens last week, they failed miserably, and they
Come on, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Come on, Josh Allen.
They stopped trying to give the ball. They basically stopped handing the ball off. I think there was a sequence where Buffalo ran 20 pass plays in a row. I think the breakdown was something like 75% passing and 25% running. So, side note, props under on Devin Singletary since you still don't have Zach Moss. So,
that was going to be my question for you. No Zach Moss. Ooh.
Yeah, Singletary is a great pass-catching running back, but he is not a good backfield runner. So
looks like Josh Allen's going to have to do it all himself.
He's going to have to, for
the white Lamar Jackson.
He's his own guy now because he's got a great arm.
Yeah, he's got
not
a cannon for arm.
Not like Jackson.
I think if Diggs can really break away, it's going to be tough.
And look for Diggs to have a good game. He'll probably hit the century mark in yardage again. He's done it something like past 7 out of 8 games or something like that. So look, it's another prop to look at. Just gonna throw it out there. And I'll throw out one more prop. Because
whiz.
We're all about info.
This is not propping the NFL.
Yeah, it is right now. Buffalo, and you mentioned it earlier about Travis Kelce. Buffalo's terrible against tight end coverage. Yeah, so the prop is probably something like over 7.5 receptions for Travis Kelce. Look for it.
How about yards after catch? Is there a prop for that too?
I don't know about yards after catch, but it's just receiving yards. There's receiving yards for it.
Okay.
But yeah, look. So there you go. I threw a couple props out there for y'all as well.
God, America, just stick to Buffalo.
You're welcome.
Plus 9.5.
No, those are great props. Those are plenty of great props. Think about them. There's a lot of sharps that like those too. Go check out Wager Talk. Go check out Wager Talk, and you'll get some good info out there as well. But yes, we will go back to this in the spread and the teaser spread. We both do like Buffalo plus 9.5. It's a case of really good chance to win, along with getting more of the points in a game that could be close. So there you go. Outside of a weird blowout, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
That would be so sweet if who I pick from the NFC or from
and
the AFC gets in there.
That'd be great, man.
All right, we'll see.
So I told you should have bet it.
Hey, I do have one concern. I mean, this is not really video related, but Teddy just says, Teddy likes Green Bay, but he says there'll be one underdog, so we'll see.
It's only 2 games. It doesn't matter.
That's what I told him. I was like,
it doesn't matter.
He would take Green Bay straight up, but I was like, nah.
Not a bad choice. I'd rather have it at 3, but I mentioned that in the previous video. But let us know in the comments how you think this game is going to go. If you're betting any of the sides or totals, leave us a comment down below. But until next time, for Andrew Chang, I'm Daniel Saludo. If you like the content you got in this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe, tick the notification bell, and select all. That way you stay up to date with all of our latest videos and previews for the rest of the season. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us in this second conference championship playoff breakdown. We are up to the no sweat bet, but if you actually watch both the videos, you already know what our no sweat is going to be, or do you? Maybe he changes it, maybe I change it. Stay tuned and wait to see. Stay tuned and we'll be able to get that out to you as soon as possible. But until then, make sure you get your bets in. And of course, don't forget to be a tease.